Okay, I had to come up on here and talk about Kayleigh and Michael. I do want to give a quick disclaimer that I'm really sick right now. I'm on the verge of losing my voice. So if I sound a little different, that's why. But your girl has to come up here and make some coins to support the family because unfortunately YouTube doesn't have paydays off when you're sick. But okay, we see Michael and Kayleigh, and they're at Kayleigh's house. They just got freaky, and they're enjoying their time together. Kayleigh gave him a little high five after he took her to Pound Town. And then afterwards, they get in the car and they head to this store to, I guess, get like some meats and stuff for Michael. And when they're in the car, Michael finally notices that Kayleigh's driving a car that he doesn't recognize. Then this next part really got me. So Kayleigh was talking in a confessional and she's like, look, I've been a prison wife for 6 years. So now that he's out, it's time for me to treat myself. So if I want coffee every single day, and if I want to buy me a nice car, I'm going to do it. She's like, I never wanted to be a prison wife to begin with. I'm like, are you serious? I couldn't help but just roll my eyes when she said that. Because Michael revealed, first of all, it wasn't 6 years like she claimed. It was only 4 years. A few years into Michael's sentence is when Kayleigh reached out to Michael's mother and was like, hey, I want to talk to Michael. Can you reach out to him for me? The mother reached out to Michael, and Michael was like, yeah, I want to talk to Kayleigh. And they started talking a few years into his sentence. So you knew this was the very beginning of his sentence, damn near, that you still had another 4 years to go. And you're the one that chose to get into the relationship and marry a guy in prison. So, I mean, you can't really say, oh, I never wanted to be a prison wife to begin with. You can tell Kayleigh's not good with finances because somebody who's $40,000 in debt while their husband is, if that was Kayleigh, I would still be stressed out about that because that's your husband now, so that's going to fall back on you. So I would be counting every single penny that's coming in and out. But she's like, no, I'm going to sit here and treat myself to coffee and a nice car. And when you get out, like, yes, they should have a nice day where he gets a nice dinner, she gets herself some coffee, but that should be a one-time thing. Unless you got it like that and you're not in debt. Just like her plastic surgery. I feel like Kayleigh had no business going and getting all that plastic surgery that she got when she was literally in debt herself and had Michael in all this debt. Like, if you're going to be getting plastic surgery, I feel like you should at least have like a minimum of 10 racks in the bank, and even then that's pushing it. So Kayleigh and Michael pull up at this meat place, and Michael wants to get himself like $180 worth of some quality butchered meats. He's trying to get him some ribeyes. He wants to eat some of the best. He's trying to treat himself like Kayleigh's been treating herself. And once it comes down to paying for the items, Kayleigh just looked at him because, you know, he was trying to do one of those, you know, when the guy likes to stand behind the girl and wrap his arms around her waist whenever she's paying. You know, that's the perfect stance when you know that you have a guy living up a girl. That's what Mike was trying to do. He was trying to chill in the back, and he was trying to have Kayleigh step up and pay for it, and she's like, no, I'm not paying for this. I don't need this. And he's like, okay, no big deal. Let me get my cards. And he takes his cards, swipes them, and finds out that there's no money on them. They keep getting declined. He even tried to use his other card, which got declined as well. And so Michael wants to know what the hell's going on. And Kayleigh's like, I'm not about to fight about this in the middle of the restaurant. So he takes things outside and he confronts her, and she's like, yeah, this is not my debt. This is your debt. She was gaslighting the hell out of him. She was telling him, yep, you owe this money. I've been using your cards. I maxed out both of your cards. So this is your debt. You're going to have to pay it back. Welcome to being married. And after this, Michael's probably going to be so damn traumatized. He's probably never going to want to get married again or trust a woman when it comes to his financing. Michael was asking her, okay, so when are you going to pay it back? I want to see all the receipts. And she just kept gaslighting him and saying, no, that's your debt. And he handled it better than me because I would have lost my shit. Like, you sat here and racked up this money while I'm in prison. You better pay it back or I'm about to report your ass. And then I don't understand how Kayleigh can sit here and justify what she's doing because we saw her crying last season about what her mom did to her. The reason that Kayleigh can't get anything in her own name is because her mother ruined her credit and went and took out, I can't remember what it was her mom bought, but her mom like racked up thousands of dollars underneath Kayleigh's social security number and put Kayleigh in this massive debt. So Kayleigh is sitting there doing the same thing that her mom did to her to Michael. And I mean, it kind of makes sense why she's purposely seeked out somebody with a good credit score that wouldn't know about how she was spending for so long, because she knows that, hey, I kind of need someone to help me do things because I can't do anything by myself because of what my mother did to me. Everything we see Kayleigh out here doing, she learned from her mama. And I wouldn't be shocked if we see Kayleigh out here trying to do stuff like what Letitia was doing, like where she offers tax and accounting services, credit building, and personal loans. Would you guys trust Kayleigh with your personal information and do credit building? It'd be like more like credit destroying and this. I'm obviously joking for those of you guys who can't tell, but honestly nothing would surprise me with Kayleigh at this point. You know, looking back, I wouldn't be shocked if she probably got herself a few PPP loans back in the day. I can't figure out Kayleigh's full name. I do follow her on Instagram, but I don't know her last name to be able to look into that. But I don't know, she just seems like one of those types. Like Letitia, she had multiple PPP loans from multiple different companies, and companies that she didn't really run for more than the time just to apply for a PPP loan, and then suddenly the company disappeared once she did get the money. And that's the thing, they did not do the PPP loans like the government. They did not handle that well at all. The fact that they were just handing them out left and right without really doing any digging. All you had to do is show, oh, you got a company? Oh, you got a social media page for your company, even though you just started it 2 days ago? Okay, you get a PPP loan. That's how it seemed like. It seemed like they were just handing them out. Then we see Michael go over to Kayleigh's, I think it was Kayleigh's house, and her mom was there, and they were getting ready to have this big party. And I guess apparently Michael wanted his mother to be there as well. But you know, the last time we saw Michael's mother and Kayleigh's mother get together, Kayleigh's mother ended up throwing water all over her mother. So I think it's about to be World War III if they end up getting back together. So apparently Kayleigh runs to the bedroom and she starts printing stuff out, and her daughter's wanting to know why she's printing this stuff out. And she's like, well, Michael wants to see the receipts of the money I've been spending because he's not believing that he asked for as much money as he did. And like I said before, I understand you were sending him money, but that's like theft by deception, because I feel like if he knew it was coming out of his own money, then he probably wouldn't have spent as much as he believed he did. Michael's an attractive man, so he's probably turned down other women while he's in prison, thinking, oh no, I got me a keeper who supports me. Meanwhile, he has no idea that all the money he's getting from his wife is his money, and he's just getting himself put in this massive debt. Or I feel like he would have been willing to spend his own money if he knew that it was gonna be like that. But Kayleigh really gave him no option to choose what he wanted to do, and just magically put him in all this debt behind his back, which I think is scandalous. And then Michael sat down and was talking to Kayleigh's mom, and he was telling Kayleigh's mom how it sucks being on an ankle monitor and how he can't really go anywhere without the halfway house being on his ass. And his mom was like, yeah, well, who's all coming to this party? And he's like, well, my mom's coming. And the mom was like, oh, well, you do remember what happened the last time we were around each other? And Michael was like, yeah, but let's just keep the peace. And Kayleigh's mom did not sound too confident that they would be able to keep the peace. So Michael's like, okay, if you can't keep the peace, then just leave. And then her mom was like, you don't gotta tell me twice. And she stormed out the door. And that annoyed me, because I'm like, damn, Michael, you're out here cucking the content. That would have been some good-ass content, getting these two back together face-to-face and seeing how they handle it. And I hope they have somebody who's able to convince Kayleigh's mom into coming back, because I definitely want to see how that goes down. They're eventually going to have to be around each other eventually, since they're both intertwined with their families at this point. So they might as well just get together and get it over with. It's better to do it sooner than later. But that's it for this video, guys. Let me know what you guys think about everything in the comments below, and how Kayleigh handled the situation with Michael. Let me know, and thank you so much for watching.